All right. This is the best experience. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Never heard of
We are live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the best experience. And,
Yeah,
hey, we got Nick Best right here. I know it's
never
a
heard of
little late in the day. Never.
It's
every
okay.
time. Every time.
Yeah.
uh,
No, it's cool.
uh, on the Patreon,
Mhm.
on every Wednesday, you can join us live. You can ask Nick questions. You can
Mhm.
chime in. You can put in your comments. We see them as they come in. So that's one of the
Mhm.
perks of joining the best experience on
Yeah,
Patreon. So, we got a couple of members, and when we have new members, we like to read off their names.
we
We
do.
like to welcome them in, and then we also answer fan questions.
Mhm. Yeah. And we got one today. We got a new one today named Brave. So welcome to the show, and thank you for joining. We much appreciate it. Without you guys and your support, we wouldn't be here. So thank you. We'll get right into the questions. If you could relive one single event from your entire World's Strongest Man career, with your current knowledge and experience, which event would it be, and what would you change? Well, there's probably like at least two, maybe even three that I can think of right off the rip.
Mm.
Um, First is that first year when I made the finals. Uh, uh, I spent myself so much in the keg carry in the qualifying event to win. Um, I played it way too conservative in the final on the sandbag medley, going through the water and then loading. It was rock bag medley because it wasn't sand; it was rocks that were in those bags. I think I
Yeah.
was way too conservative going out after it in that one event, and I probably could have went out the way I usually go out in a medley. And I learned that from that point on and didn't ever do that again. But I just didn't go out hard enough in that first medley. I didn't really know what to expect, and I was still kind of paying for the one I did, just a few days earlier. And I was just like afraid I didn't want to be wasted for the rest of the event, which I should have just went for it. I probably could have caught it, 3 or 4 places higher than what I did, and could have made it in the probably top three. So that would be kind of one mistake I would probably do different. In 2013, when we were in China, I probably, when we were getting measured for the squats, I had like I was having trouble getting down and getting loosened up, and I took some bad advice and hit the hole hard and fast, which put my back out, and kind of
Oof.
I had to deal with it for the whole entire show. I would probably, in hindsight on that one, um, not do that and just have it take longer for me to get down into position. They were kind of rushing us through the boneyard and stuff, and the night before I gotten stuck on a plane coming out of China at the rear end, at the back end of a typhoon, and we had to sit on the run. They pushed us off the gate and just let us sit on the plane for like 6 hours before we flew the
Ugh.
rest of the way to Senya. So I was like super tight. My back was super stiff the next day, and I didn't get loosened up properly. So that would probably be one thing I would have definitely changed. And then I think the last one, in 17, when I was doing the elephant carry, once I kind of knew Cedrunas wasn't going to be able to get as far as I was, I tried to play conservative, and I could have kept going. I could have went down and made another turn and probably came back a good amount. I probably, in hindsight, would have done that because I tore my calf in the first event, the final, and had to deal with that. So I'd have much rather gone out harder on that shield carry and really put that out there further. But
Yeah. Really set a record.
yeah, other than that, those are probably the three biggest things I would change at World's Strongest Man. Um, yeah, those are probably the biggest things I would change.
Oh, yeah.
Also, back then, like towards the right at the end of my career, guys were starting to be able to have other people come in and like their coaches come in and stuff like that. That would have been nice to have brought somebody in that way to help a little bit more.
Getting
That would be
prepared, coaching, stuff
getting
like
prepared. Coaching, not necessarily. The funny thing is I think my generation really didn't need a coach because we all kind of coached each other
yeah,
and learn from each other, stuff like that. The kids now really rely on those, which is kind of interesting. But I'm me personally, I'm just surprised how many people pay money for coaches that don't know how to compete. They know how to put them through the training cycle and do all the other stuff that they do to them, but they have no idea on game day what to do or what's the best way to approach it, which just find hilarious. Um, it's criminal if you go to um, if you go to like when we're testing the events and stuff, and you're not recording the whole thing and not looking at everybody else's stuff and recording all that, and just see what's what. And if your coach doesn't go to the rules meeting, you need a new coach. Yeah, definitely on that one. Uh, you should know everything from inside and out. If you're going to be there coaching somebody, you should know what all the rules are and how to deal with all that. So I
yeah,
think that's kind of a cardinal sin when you're handling somebody. There's a lot of people that might be able. The funny thing is when you really think about it, these guys that are there are the freaks of the freaks of the freaks. They're just,
yeah.
and the funny thing
We're
is,
talking
kind
about
of
the top 5 of the 1%.
not even the 1%. You're talking about, you're really talking about the 500 million percentile,
Yeah,
or even 400 million percentile. One of every 400 million people are going to be as have the ability that these guys have. Um, no matter what they do, they're gonna get better. They're gonna do well on anyone's plan,
yeah,
because they're that good of athletes. It's just, uh, do they know how to compete when they get there? That's the thing. And then as the guys develop and get experience and stuff like that, you should know enough how your body works not to have to look at some guy and go, "Hey, what should I do for this?" It's like,
yeah,
maybe have a discussion with them, but at some point, you, you got to know what's what and how to get your body ready for things. One of the years. But then again, I power lifted for, oh geez, nearly 20 years before I even got to my first World's Strongest Man. Yeah, it was more than that actually. So I knew how to like train myself and stuff like that. And back then, nobody really had coaches. It wasn't a thing. You'd walk up and you'd talk to like Ed Cohen or Bull Stewart. Bull Stewart sat down one year. God, I want to say it was 94. Um, it was the year like Mark Henry came in and,
yeah.
you know, deadlifted 903 and signed his contract with Dr. Todd and stuff like that. And I remember sitting across from them at a table and they were talking about that. But,
What
guys,
was Mark Henry eating? Because I always remember that story.
it was like a whole bunch of chickens.
Yeah,
The
whole
table is
chickens.
just, the table is loaded with food, which is hilarious. But yeah, you go talk to some of the lifters that were better than you are, and they'd sit down. I remember Bull Stewart went through my book and just started scratching all this stuff out. He goes, "You're overtraining. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do that." And I was like, I took it seriously. Came back the next year. I was 100 pounds. I put 100 pounds on my total. Came back the next year. I put 100 pounds on my total. Came back the next year. I was national champion. Came back the next year. I was national champion. So, I mean, it's like, you should be able to do a lot of these things on your own. And I've said it before, you're your own experiment and you should be experimenting and stuff. You have coaches to learn from their experience,
Mhm.
but the coaches should be teaching you in a way that you shouldn't have to rely on them, to figure out how to get ready for things unless it's an event that you don't understand.
Yeah,
But I mean, that's just my personal opinion. You know, uh, learn what to do and adapt from that. I mean, pretty soon we're going to be selling some templates and stuff like that, and there'll be off-season strongman programs, and then off-season powerlifting programs, and then like an off-season training program. And you guys will be able to see that. But it's the thing is with that, you're supposed to learn your body. You're in your own body. You're going to know it better than all of us will. We can look at things and point out obvious things and even little things that will help your technique. But at the end of the day, you should really be paying attention to what you're doing and what works best for you. And I think that's kind of something that has been kind of lost in these modern times.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, I just went down a whole rabbit hole.
Well, that was a good answer, though. That was the whole point. That's what the Patreon members pay for.
Yeah, true. All right, question 2. Nick, have you seen the new Shaw Relentless Journey, Brian Shaw documentary yet? How would you compare the way Eddie Hall's documentary portrayed the life and mindset of a strongman competitor? I kind of lived a lot of that actually with him.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, it's Brian. I mean, he's got a champion mindset. It's like literally everything that he was doing was built around, training and stuff like that, and building a business and being successful in business. Brian will be successful at whatever Brian wants to. He's that hyper competitive at everything he does. Eddie was willing to die to win and to compete. Brian almost lost his leg. 12 weeks later, he's doing World's Strongest Man, and Brian wanted to go out, going to World's Strongest Man, and then winning his own, winning Strongest Man on Earth, and that's what he did. So, they're both unbelievable champions. They truly are. They really are, and they're good friends. And I don't talk to either one of them as much as I'd like to, but I love those guys. I miss them. It's got to do things with them in my life that I'm so grateful for and feel so blessed for, and just happy neither one of them killed me. So, but yeah, and now you can see that turning into arm wrestling for Brian. And even MMA and some fighting for Eddie. I mean, he's about to fight Fury, so that's going to be fun to watch.
Exactly.
But it's the mindset that they have that they won't fail. They'll succeed. They'll learn. They'll readjust. They'll do what is necessary to, at the end of the day, to come out on top.
Exactly. I remember watching Eddie's documentary, Beast. Yeah. And man, it was just such a different documentary back then.
Yeah.
And it really, showed not just his struggle, but what he was doing and what he was willing to do, and all these aspects. And then Brian's documentary, for me, it went really in depth on the background of Brian, because, a lot of us, and when I mean the background, I'm talking about like from beginning to end. It showed the struggles. It showed the winning and losing, and and they broke it down into, I believe it was 5 episodes. I watched all 5. I binged it literally on the plane back from World's Strongest Man. Yeah. And it was crazy to see. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, oh, okay. You just have a different level of respect just on the understanding of what Brian achieved and how he achieved it against all odds.
Oh, yeah. And there's the thing you notice is there's no quitting.
Yeah.
There's no other option. This is what we're going to do, and I'm going to make it work.
Exactly.
And it's being positive. It's having a positive mindset. It's going through it. It's having everything in your life, set up towards that. Exactly. And, at that upper elite level, it's kind of what it takes, so it's pretty neat. It's pretty special that both those guys got that out. So
exactly. You know what I'm saying? It shines light on not just strongman, but on the community, because you know, a lot of us just have an understanding of strongman on a surface level, and when you can go a little further into like some of the not pioneers, but some of the greats that have competed in
Oh yeah.
strongman, like Eddie and Brian, and you know what I'm saying. See, and being able to see these things, because you know, when people fall in love with the sport, they just don't fall in love with, you know, of course, with the one person that brings them in, but then they're like, oh, there's so much more to this community, and it opens them up to
Oh yeah.
giving everyone an opportunity to actually peer in.
Oh yeah, for sure. 100%. There's
That's
so
it.
much of that. And I'm just very happy, very grateful, and very fortunate to have been, you know, call them my friends and done things with them that,
Yeah. And be a part
you
of
know,
history.
and be a part of
You
history.
literally,
So,
yeah, you literally a part of history on the History Channel
yeah.
on a TV show about history of
Yeah.
strongman. So
Yeah.
it's just, you know, your name is etched in stone right up there with them, because, like I
Well,
said,
and then yeah, and then being at the
you,
competitions with them and
yeah,
doing,
exactly,
yeah,
exactly. You know what I'm saying? You
and going
basically
to the
watch
gyms
them
with
grow up
them,
in the
training with
shows.
them. Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's pretty neat. So it's fun because I mean, like I turned pro at a contest in 2005, and at Van Hatfield's contest in 2005, and
Yeah.
Brian went the next year and turned pro at the same
Yep.
contest 2006. So it's like, and then Eddie, I think it was I think it was 12 when I first met Eddie,
Yeah.
and I think it might have been Australia, and then 13, of course, and then World's Strongest Man in 13 and
Hmm.
14, and then he turned a gear in 14. He
Yeah.
found a whole nother gear, and for the next few years, man, he was just on point. He was,
He was
especially
pushing it.
16 and 17, man. He just was out in the stratosphere.
That's it.
So I
That's
mean,
it.
to this date, he's still. So everybody calls the 1,100-pound deadlift that he hit the most amazing deadlift of all time. I don't call that the most amazing deadlift of all time. It was really amazing because he was the first person to do it, but the bar was still like a deadlift bar. I can't
Yeah.
stand deadlift bars anymore. It
Yeah.
has ruined the integrity of that lift.
Hmm.
Um, People don't realize at World's Strongest Man in the finals, the fifth event in the finals, he did it's what's called an axle deadlift. So it wasn't a full
Yeah.
2.5 inch axle, but it was, or 2 inch axle. But I think it was like 1 3/4, and the bar was like super, super strong. It didn't give
Yeah. No
at
give.
all. There was zero bend in it. And he did 1,041 that way.
Yeah.
Now I challenge every single sumo puller, and I challenge, well, and Thor pulled over 1,000 on that too, mind you,
Yeah.
and so did Brian. So,
Yeah.
but I challenge all these sumo deadlifters that are pulling these amazing amounts of weight to do that on a 1.5 inch stiff bar.
Oh yeah.
You can use straps,
Yeah.
but I want to see you do it. That because, and until you pull it on that bar, the bar shouldn't be given 4 or 5 inches before it comes off the ground. I
Exactly.
mean, not in a powerlifting meet. No,
Yeah.
no. And you know, if you want to be the goat, then you got to beat the goat the way the goat did it. Not
Yep.
because you're using a bar that gives 5 inches. The bar should give about 1/4 of an inch before the weight comes off the ground. You get it all at
Yep.
once.
That's
Um,
it.
you know, don't think you're doing something that's totally crazy,
Exactly.
and you know, it turns out, oh, it's did these are the guys really getting that much stronger? Is the bench press that much higher? Is the squat that much higher than those guys at the time? No, the only thing that's different is they have a bar that gives 5 inches before it comes off the ground, and they learn how to pull on it. That's it. So
That's
go
it.
pull on a stiff bar.
Yeah.
Go grab an IPF Alico bar and do
That's
it on
it.
that, or pull on the axle that Eddie Hall did 1,041 on the fifth event, which means that's his 11th event at World's Strongest Man inside of 10 days, or
Yep.
inside of probably 9 days at that point. Because
Exactly.
I think our resting time, actually no, that'd be, we had one day off, so that was 2 on, 1 off, so it's 5 days. So
Yeah.
on the fifth day, it being the 11th event in 5 days, pull
Exactly.
1,041, and he had more in there. He just didn't
Yep.
need to do anymore. So
Yep.
anyway, okay, I'm off my horse on that one. Yeah, so there's that.
Well, we can pivot here,
Okay.
and we'll just cover this quickly because I know we're going to keep this one short today.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what's happening next week. You know what I'm saying? Because you know,
Okay.
yeah, it's significant. It's something you've talked about for a long time, and it's finally
Yeah.
here. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I'll be right there with you as it's happening.
I know.
But
Thank you.
oh no, you're welcome, my brother. And like I said, you're not just getting one, but you're getting two.
I know. I know. All right. Well, I've been lifting hard and going crazy and just enjoying every moment of it for a long time.
Yeah.
And well, I did something just a couple days ago that I put on suit bottoms just because it helps because my hips have been killing me for
Hmm.
I don't know, probably since 18.
Yeah.
And then it's just gotten steadily rougher and worse. And I've done everything to mediate as much as I could.
Yeah.
And
All the
then
recovery you can.
all the recovery I can. And I went in and um, I was really having problems with mobility and getting it done. And you can't really do much about the bone spurs
Yeah.
that are in there. And then so went in, got it looked at. There's bone spurs on both sides, pretty bad. And then the doc's like, "Hey, just you do realize you're bone on bone, right?" I'm like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay." So Travis Ortmeyer has had a hip replacement. So has
Jerry.
Jerry Pritchett, and then Ed Cohen as well.
Yep.
And then Gary and a couple other people I've known that have gotten them now. And especially with Travis, because Travis went this year and did a 950-pound yoke for 20 meters. And I think he had the second or third fastest time. And it's like watching Travis just start all anew again. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
all right, well, so I went to the doc and took a look at it. And he said my left hip is not much better than my right hip as well. So we're going to go in and we're going to get those taken care of. We're going to get replacements put in. The doc says I will, after the surgery, they're going to wake me up. I will walk out of the out of the operating room and go about my business. I have to be careful for 6 weeks, and it heals kind of like a fracture, is what I was told. And then that's pretty much what both Jerry and Travis said, and as well as Ed Cohen.
Yeah.
And it heals pretty much like a fracture. So in 6 weeks, you can start lifting things besides what you do at the physical therapy, which I've already really looked into a lot of that as well.
Mhm.
And I'm going to be able to do this and then in less than a year, come back.
Yeah.
So
You know,
it's going to be kind of
and
cool.
that's one of those things. Hey, everyone, send out your positive vibes, your
Yes.
energy
Thank you.
for
Mm-hmm.
a quick and fast recovery. Because guess what, Nick is going in this, and we're hoping for a brand new Nick after this. You know what I'm saying? Deadlifting,
Yeah.
squatting, moving, possibly the splits.
Well, let's not get carried away, but it'll be better. I'm looking forward to doing some pretty cool things like reaching out and being able to easily tie my shoes again.
Yes.
So that's going to be nice, but I'm still strong, still pull, still squat.
Yep.
Put on the suit bottoms for my last squat session
Yeah.
uh, in these hips, and came right up with 775, and then 805. I got it down. I came up with it, but it probably wasn't down as far as I would like. But I
You
was
always
just
say
like,
that
well,
though.
yeah, well, but the video for that'll be out soon.
Oh yes.
Um, so it was just kind of like one of those things where I first squatted 800 in 1996, and this is 2026,
Yep.
and I did it again. So might not be as deep as I wanted. The 775 I think was right there, but
Yeah.
the 805 I feel it was a little high, but that's okay. I mean, I came up with it. I got it up. I got it in.
Mhm.
It was pretty cool. It was kind of neat to
That's what
do.
I'm talking about.
I felt
That's what I'm
pretty good
talking
about it.
about. Yeah.
So now I'm looking forward to getting this done next Tuesday, and then starting on the rehab and get it moving. And looking forward to coming back. Looking forward to
100%. Yeah.
lifting some heavy things. I will go after everything that I've been going after again. Yeah, it's going to be neat
Yeah.
to do this without pain. So it'll be cool.
Exactly, exactly.
Hmm.
A level of comfort that, you see a lot of people go through who, and everyone said the exact same thing that we've had this conversation with.
Yeah, should have
I
did it
wish I would have
sooner.
did it sooner. Yes. Well, you know
Right.
what, Nick, you're doing it at the right time because, it was hurting you, it was bothering you, but
Hmm.
you were just waiting on technical stuff to happen for it to come through. So it's like, all right,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? To get this back and, and luckily for you, when you were explaining the surgery to me, they're not cutting into the muscle, they're just cutting through the fascia
Mm-mm.
and then they push stuff aside. So it's like you're you're
Yeah,
you're
they pull
you're
everything aside. They
yeah.
cut out the area. They put it in. They put a screw in um, to hold the socket in, and then
Mhm.
they drill out. They cut the head of your femur off, and then they drill it out, and then they put the titanium rod in there, which is very porous and stuff like that, so the
Mhm.
bone can grow into it. And like I said, the bone grows into it fully in about 6 weeks, and then it's
Yeah.
just working on moving and what I'm comfortable with. And so I just got to basically, like, the first 2 weeks, I got to be pretty careful with it. And then
Yeah.
after that, each week after that, I can still do a little bit more, a little bit more. I just got to be careful not to dislocate it
Absolutely.
um, over like 6 weeks. And then once we get to 6 weeks, I should be pretty well good. I'll start my training back slowly and methodically with
Mhm.
things that are comfortable. Um, just kind of moving back in, and just continue to work on the bone density and stuff like that. Because the good thing is my bone density is like way higher than normal. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well,
like four
yeah,
times normal.
yeah, you're a little big boned, if we like to say.
Well, yeah. So some of the issues with that I won't have, and then
Yeah.
uh, getting back to training and keeping weight bearing stuff on them and things like that, it'll be good.
Exactly.
Know a lot of people that manage to, they slowly work down to squatting to a box supported with their hands, and then they,
Mhm.
which is right at parallel, and then they start just doing it all on their own. And it's pretty much going to be the slow methodical rehab that I do with everything every time I have an issue like this, and then just
Yeah.
come back
It's not
from
your
it.
first
So
injury.
no, it won't be the
Yes.
last either. So it's okay.
Yeah. Yep. That is
I
it.
mean,
That is correct.
look, if you're living life and you're never experiencing an injury, are you really pushing that hard? Are you really going through things? Are you really
Yeah.
trying? Um, eh, how do you experience some of the best things in life if all you do is going around and be completely safe on everything that you do? I'm not saying doing
Exactly.
crazy things like bungee jumping or jumping out of an airplane or jumping off a
Yep.
building, but I mean, you do need to go out and experience life. You need to go out and fall down a couple times,
That you do.
you know,
That you do.
which is okay. So,
Yeah. And
but
even
yeah,
when you fall, you get back up.
I'm super excited. I'm really looking forward to this. And
Yeah, no, and I'm looking forward to it too. I know there's a lot of feelings and a lot of emotions and a lot of things
yeah,
that are going to happen as the time comes. But right now, the
but
goal
like
is
I
in
said,
sight.
like I said, with Travis being able to run with a 950-pound yoke on his back and
Yeah,
not have any issues, pretty excited about that. They're
exactly.
um, and then so now with the technology and stuff, the ceramic ones are great, but if you wear them out, they got to replace the whole thing. That's not cool.
Yeah,
The ones with the I always mess up the, it's poly something with the plastic. It's not
yeah,
polyurethane, but
yeah. It's
it's
not
like a
polyurethane.
super hard plastic. And if you do manage to wear that out, they just cut you open, pull it apart, put a new one, take the old one out, put a new one in, put
Mhm.
it back together, sew you up, and within 2 weeks of the wound healing, you're back to where you were. So
Yeah.
I kind of like that idea to where, so if you have a problem, it's a pretty easy fix, so I'm pretty excited about that as well.
Yeah.
So
No, there's a
yeah.
lot of things that are floating around for it. And also too, that
Hmm.
you've talked it through with the doctors, talked about the
Hmm.
concerns, talked about what can happen. Because one of the things even too you did with the doctors, like, this is what I do. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? You laid it out. You know what
Yes,
I'm saying?
I
Like,
yeah, I sat down with Dr. Bradford and I was like, Doc, this is what I like to do. And he's like, look at me, he goes, oh yeah. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. He goes, well, he goes, I wouldn't recommend you run marathons. He goes, but most of this is gonna be okay. I'm like, Doc, I want to squat like 800 pounds again. He's just like, yeah, yeah. The worst thing for it's running.
yeah,
I was like,
there we
okay.
go.
He goes, but I got
You
guys
know,
that run marathons, and one of them that's been running marathons for over 13 years. And they'll bring you in and X-ray the thing and see what the wear's been on it. And he goes, the wear that we can see on it is less than a human hair. He goes,
yeah,
so they have the new designs are really good. There's only like a 0.1% dislocation rate, which is
yeah,
pretty darn good.
yeah, really
So
good.
just got to go out and be smart, and
That's
then
it.
come back at a good pace and be back to regular life,
That's it. That is
back to
it.
lifting stuff.
Well, Nick,
Unimpinged.
yeah, yes,
He
yeah,
laughed. He laughed because he was just circling around my hip, all the bone
yeah.
spurs that were on it.
Oh
I
my
was like,
god.
oh, he goes, and these are not small ones. I'm like, oh, okay. He goes, well,
Yeah,
that's
I
probably
could see it
why
all.
you get stuck right here with that side. I was like, yes, sir. That makes
Exactly.
sense. So I'm
Uh,
looking forward to that. Can't wait to get it over with. So
that's it.
yeah,
Well, Nick, I'll tell you right now, once again, thoughts and prayers, positive
thank you.
energy, good
Hmm.
vibes, because we want this to go smoothly. And with
Yeah.
that said, Nick, oh, go ahead.
Well, yeah, it's just kind of neat in this day and age that we're in because, like, could you imagine if they had this back when like Paul Anderson's hips went out on him?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
Y-
he probably would have lived probably another 20, 30 years.
exactly. You know
So,
what I'm saying? The technology gets better and better, but the thing too is,
mhm,
like, unfortunately, people have to go through it for that technology to progress.
correct.
And also too, like, these things only get made because someone had to go through this pain and be like, oh, how can we fix this? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
But looking forward to doing it. Looking forward to get back to it. Looking forward to jumping some
Mhm.
rope again and
That's it.
having fun. So, anyway, hope you all have a great day. And go out there and just be good to one another and always train hard, train smart, and be the best that you can be.